Tulsa, they told me. There's something about Tulsa. So I borrowed the money, drove into Oklahoma, and started my practice right there by the Dreamland Theater. Now, the Dixie was white-owned, but the Dreamland was colored. And it wasn't just that you could walk in without a big coloreds only sign over the door. It wasn't that you had to sit up there in Negro heaven. Every single Saturday, me and Anna would sit down for the matinee right by the piano. Back then on Greenwood Avenue, we had Newkirk's Upholstery, Henry Lilly's Photography, Maybelle Little's Beauty Salon, the Tulsa Star offices. I used to get my suits tailored at H.L. Byers. So what if Harlem had a few nightclubs? We had lawyers and accountants. Black Wall Street, they called us. My family didn't live on Greenwood Avenue in one of the fancy places. We lived in a cabin along Archer like most folks. It was me, my husband, and our 5 children. I was a domestic. That meant I'd take the trolley to Southside to work for a white family called the Whitmans, making lunch, doing laundry. My family been in Oklahoma a long time, all the way back to the Choctaws. They was gonna lynch that boy. Show us nothing. They was gonna lynch him. If you can get away with killing white men in Oklahoma, wasn't nothing stopping them. And we're hearing word that there are hundreds of them outside the jail, ready to string him up for whatever they say he did to that girl. So we put on our fatigues, and we grabbed our pistols, and we marched right down there. We fought a war. We earned our peace of mind. And any life lived in fear ain't worth living at all. As soon as I heard there was shooting, I grabbed my children and ran out into the woods. And we walked about 15 miles till we got to the next town, where they called us awful things. They ran us to Convention Hall with our hands in the air. And they were shooting at our heels, and I felt the bullet jump up and hit me in the leg. A lot of them doing the looting was boys, no older than 12. Smoking cigars and drinking moonshine, holding guns. Get you a nigger, they said. You niggas ain't having your uprising now. And after the men came women with shopping bags, taking everything they could carry out of our houses. Some men who said they was deputies showed up and rounded us up, marched us down to Convention Hall. And there's people on every side cheering, saying we got what we deserved. When the fire department arrived, the brutes forced them away at gunpoint. At 4 a.m., more than 24 black-owned businesses were torched, including the Dreamland Theater. I took my little girl by the hand, and we ran out onto the west end of Greenwood Avenue, and there's machine guns spraying on us from the granaries. We ran out into the smoke, and that's when we heard the engines. They was dropping dynamite on us from airplanes. We children were in the attic, and Dad pretended to leave, and that's when they started spraying kerosene and gasoline all over the house, and we could feel the fire underneath the floor. We positioned ourselves in the belfry, and that was where we held off the white invasion for a while, until the bricks was flying around us and the cupola was ready to fall on us. That was the National Guard shooting at us. And when we ran, we looked back, and they set Mount Zion on fire. Dr. A.C. Jackson was a good man. And one fellow on the side of him shot him twice. And then when he fell, they shot him in the leg and marched us down to Convention Hall. He died of his wounds later. Somebody at the Red Cross got us a stove. That was how we spent the winter, all around the stove in a tent. The only coats we had was from the Red Cross. I know they killed my son. And I know they did after he surrendered. And I still had to go to work. There used to be 2, 3-story houses up on Greenwood Avenue. And whenever I walk out, all I'd see is blackened walls and ash, and I could look far in every direction. Soon we're gonna move up north. Move in with my sister. No more Tulsa. I know my son is dead. I just wish they told me where he buried them.